I expect nothing less. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So earlier today, FBI Director Christopher Wray testified about the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, saying there are no indications that the shooter had help. We humbly disagree. During the hearing, Jerry Nadler implied Republicans are to blame for the Trump assassination attempt. He also blames his pants for getting pooped in. Those slacks were asking for it, he said. The Secret Service has requested President Trump stop holding outdoor rallies. As an alternative, they recommended catching a play at Ford's Theater. On The View, Karine Jean-Pierre insisted Joe Biden is still very much the president. For proof, she provided a recent photo. Joy Reid says Americans of color are going to look real crazy and weird if they don't vote for Kamala Harris. In other words, they'll look like Joy Reid. A North Korean balloon carrying trash landed in the South Korean presidential compound this morning. I believe we have a picture. Prince Harry turns 40 next September, and he's set to inherit $8.5 million, which he'll spend on a new pair of balls. Scientists say horse manure may be better than cow manure at generating electricity. Either way, at least we know The View is safe from blackouts. All right. Let's get it going. Thank you. So Kamala Harris is the Democrat candidate for president of the United States. I'll give you a second to come to. The border czar who couldn't find our southern border on a map of Texas now wants to be America's commander-in-chief. Kamala couldn't lead a campfire sing-along, let alone the country's armed forces. But does that matter? Not to the media. Now, they would like this framed as a team sport battle, left versus right, Democrat versus Republican. But in reality, it's the media narrative machine versus reality. And that machine is now fully operational. So now what you'll get is the propagandist image of a competent, inspiring executive, which is meant to cover up the harsh truth of a deceiving incompetent. The strategy is simple. Fill the shelf space with lies so there's no room for anything else. Quick. Name something Harris has accomplished in the last 4 years, besides building a fort out of empty cartons of boxed wine. You can't. No one can. But the Dems don't care. The machine simply slotted her in where Joe once was. I only hope they wiped it down with Lysol first to get rid of the old man smell. But to fulfill their goals, there's no way for them to stay in the realm of reality. As a result, the mainstream media is gearing up to bombard us with a narrative that Kamala is the answer. Amazing, historic, energetic, young, and fresh. When the best they could say about Joe was that he was disturbingly lifelike. But the narrative is firmly up against something else, the basket case theory. For as time marches on, we'll see the flaws and the weirdness of Kamala until, holy hell, America sees she's a basket case. And can you actually imagine her delivering a State of the Union or negotiating with Putin or Kim Jong-un? Hell, they speak better English than she does. After a few sentences from her, the translators would throw up their hands and say, "I'll take the firing squad now." Our only hope is after they hear about coconuts, school buses, and Venn diagrams, they'll be too confused to bomb us. So it's Kamala the savior versus Kamala the basket case. And the goal of the media is to keep you in the first narrative so you don't enter the second. Every Joy, Mika, and Joe will read from the same script tattooed on the inside of their eyelids. It'll be the media equivalent of synchronized swimming. A lot of dorks kicking water in your eyes so you don't see that they're drowning. It's exactly what they did with Biden. Try to keep you in the he's sharp as a tack world and not in the he's a basket case world, which, as you know, was a lie Harris herself took part in for almost 4 years. That should be the focus, not the linguistic linguini. It's that she lied to the American people, aiding the most egregious and dangerous political cover-up in American history. Then, when the time was right, she took his spot and his money. Now, I do believe the modern media consumer is savvy enough to see this. Certainly you won't fall for it. We've been burned by this stove many times before, the stove being the hoax-inducing media. The stove that told you riots were mostly peaceful. Trump said they were good Nazis, and Joe's the sharpest knife in the drawer, although apparently not as sharp as the ones his allies used to stab him in the back with. So remember who burned you last time as you experienced the most orchestrated hoax yet. That Kamala, who has been a punchline for 4 years, it's anything more than a joke. So as we enter the home stretch, just remember this. It's not Kamala versus Trump. It's fantasy versus reality. And if you fall into the us versus them framework, you lose. Because this time, it's not just about competing ideologies. This time, it's you versus the machine. Image versus reality. Mostly peaceful versus a burned-down city. Serious prosecutor versus bailing out felons. Joe Biden is very sharp versus we beat Medicare. Cheap fakes versus real dementia. You need to see this the way you saw Biden. And remember that the same people who will shout in unison that they've never seen anyone as competent, compelling, and inspiring as Kamala Harris are the same ones who told you that a demented old man deserves to be the most powerful person on earth. Otherwise, the joke will be on us. And while she may be laughing, trust me, we won't. Let's get tonight's guest. He spends his free time polishing his nightstick. Former NYPD inspector and Fox News contributor Paul Moreau. His fans can't get enough cyanide. Writer and comedian Joe DeVito. She's like a pretzel, salty, twisted, and popular in Germany. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Cat Tube. And he has to take selfies with the Hubble telescope. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NBA world champion. Paul, I hesitate to give advice to Donald Trump because he's done quite well without me. But when you heard Kamala was the Democratic candidate, did you start thinking, how does he handle her? Does he use the same strategy that he would use with Biden? He can't.
It's like reviewing a really bad Hollywood movie, right? Because that's what she is. She's a Hollywood production. That's what we're about to get, right? This is the equivalent politically of Ant-Man versus the Flash in the Temple of Doom or something, right? Yeah. It's really, we're about to be argued and produced into the idea that she's anything more than she was. But let's be honest here. What she really is a hobby for a bunch of retirees. Look who's running this. Clooney, Obama, Julia Roberts, right? They're all has-beens. So most of us, you go build model airplanes, you go bowling or something like that. These guys decide they're going to run our lives in retirement. It's like, Clooney, go play pickleball or something. Leave us alone. Stay out of it. But that's what's going on. They're tinkering with it. Clooney doesn't even live in America. But apparently decides he's going to run it. And that's what's really going on. You have a bunch of retirees who are going to tell us all how to run our lives.
Yeah, it's like a retired version of the Expendables. And the enemy is Trump. It's not about Kamala. It's about fighting Trump. They don't care who it is. It's the machine that matters, Joe. Do you think this brainwashing will have effect on the American people of 2024? Have we been educated by all the fake news?
I'm really scared. I'm really scared. Although I'm noticing that all the footage they show of Biden now, doesn't it look like the In Memoriam segment at an award show? That
Yes.
This is not a living person they're talking about now. They're just moved him out of the way.
Yes.
So yeah, I am afraid because we're going to see a media assault like we have never seen before, and the Democratic convention is going to pull out every celebrity. It's going to be just like the Oscars, except you're going to wish Will Smith slapped you after you watch 2 minutes of it. But on the other hand, they're the same people who a couple of months ago were saying, dump Kamala. And a month ago, they were saying that Joe Biden was still among the living. They were saying that, what do you say, far beyond cogent is what Joe's. Now, if you hear someone say you're cogent, start shopping for floral arrangements because you're in big trouble.
Yes.
So if you say, Doc, am I cogent, how bad is it?
Yes. It's like saying spry.
Yeah,
if they say you're spry,
it's over.
Yeah, they're pushing you off a cliff.
Who is a spring chicken?
Yeah, who is this? Oh, he's a spring chicken.
Yeah, so this is going to be bad. They're talking about how she has more energy because she can talk.
Yeah.
She can smile. She can dance. She can move. A 9-volt battery has more energy than Joe Biden. But here's the thing. She's got a couple of weeks before the convention. She won't be able to keep her mouth shut that long. So the more she talks, the more people are going to say, this lady's nuts.
I don't know. I think they're going to keep her under wraps, Kat. But do you think, like, we were there first with her laugh. We were there first with her word salads. Is it time to retire that stuff and focus more on just the fact that it's a machine, it's not a candidate? What say you?
Well, I mean, I think it's sadly time for me to remind everyone that even after the debate, there were a lot of people who were going to vote for Joe.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have. I get why he got replaced because of that, but for some people, it really doesn't matter. It's about which political party it is, and that's it. That's all. And yeah, the media already is making her look pretty cool. People are going to get really excited to vote for her, this historic thing, and that's a lot of help. I mean, the media can create people all the time. You can win a popularity contest without even really doing anything by creating a brand of a human being.
Yes.
And that's what's going to happen. I just hope that, I mean, sadly, I don't want us to all, like, destroy each other in our personal lives because of this election. I mean, people are not even really talking about Trump getting shot anymore, sadly. Yeah. And people are saying, oh, it's time for civility and this and that. I really would like it to still be time for that.
Yeah.
And time for that ongoing.
Mm-hmm. You know, Tyrus, is it like one of those things in a relationship where it's in those precious early moments you think the person is absolutely wonderful, and
then you say, I do, and it's all downhill?
Yes. You wake up in Vegas.
Yeah.
You thought she was female. I still... But, you know, great cook, so we decided to stick it out.
I feel like you should just clean it out now. Just keep going. Like, this is good. You've been needing to talk about this for a long time. They're going to vote because it's not even about her. It's the anti-Trump versus Trump. That's what this really all comes down to. Trump is so scary to them that they were willing to have retirees run an expiry. So, because Biden was past retired. Like, if he was milk, you could paste him on something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the expiration date, they kept changing. No, it's good. It's good. Are you sure this smells like spoiled milk? No, it's fine. Taste it. No, I throw up every time. No, it's good. It's good. It's so good. And then, oh, it's not good. Try this other milk. That feels like the same milk. It's just it has boobs on the top of it. So, I mean, you're 1,000%. It's just under new management. It's the same crappy box. It's just under new management. So, but they don't care. And she also outsmarted them because Obama and them didn't want her.
Right.
Mnuchin and them were like, hey, we'll do it. And then she's like, no, I get to keep the money because that's her and Biden's money. So this wasn't this peachy coming of age. I think she saw her shot and she took it. And it's amazing that Biden, who's so loved by his family and staff, the day he steps down, which I would think would be a pretty bad day, I'm no longer going to be the leader of the free world. And that's when the wife hops on a plane to France. Wow.
She's
like,
not.
You talk about the timing of all that.
She's not coming back.
He couldn't take a step down her stairs without her being there.
Yeah. And you know what?
And as soon as he's not president, deuces him out.
I don't want to spread any rumors here, but what if Hunter's with her?
He's comforting her during this time of need.
He's going to put the high in Mile High. All right.
He's got to earn that,
Yeah.
He's got to get that commitment somehow.
Yeah, that is true. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.